Hi everybody, it's Amanda. Welcome to my channel. I'm bringing you today a video that's a little bit different. I'm going to show you how I'm going to cook my Christmas ham. So I'll obviously pause it as it's cooking because it's a couple of hours cooking, so boiling. It's a cola baked ham, cola cooked ham. So I cook it in 2 litres of Coca-Cola, not necessarily the expensive one. I've bought a cheap one, just a cheap cola, and it's got spices and things in, but it's also then, once I've cooked it on the hob, then I'm going to pop it in the oven, and it's going to be glazed with maple syrup and mustard and red wine and a few little spices, bit of nutmeg and things like that. Now, in the actual cooking syrup, the Coke, I keep saying Diet Coke because I drink Diet Coke, so it's not Diet Coke, it's full fat Coke. In there we do put spices and other things as well, and then on the top, nutmeg, as I say, and mustard, and there'll be red wine, vinegar, whole grain mustard, carrots and celery and onion. So without further ado, let's get on with the recipe. This is a recipe off the BBC Good Food Guide, but I've tweaked it a little bit because hubby don't like star anise, don't like bay leaves and things, so I have altered it a little bit, and I think, let me just check the recipe, I think, yeah, 5 spice it's got in on when you roast it, and as I say, he don't like 5 spice, and he don't like star anise. So what I'm going to do is do a little bit of nutmeg. It's only to give it a little bit of Christmas tasting. So the recipe is 2 kilos of unsmoked boneless gammon, which I've got, 2 litres of Coke or cola, 1 carrot chopped and an onion peeled and quartered, stick of celery and a cinnamon stick, and a bay leaf and half a tablespoon of peppercorns. I will put the recipe in the description box below. Now I'm doing a couple of sticks of celery because they're actually sticks, not cut sticks already, not full ones. And I'm going to put a couple of carrots in because they're small, and a couple of onions rather than 1 because they're only small as well. But I will put the recipe on. So for now, just bear with me. We've got our Coke in the pan. Let me move the meat. That's my meat. Looks beautiful, does that? I mean, I'm not a big meat fan, as you know, but that looks really, really tasty. So the hardest thing, I think, is finding a pan big enough to put it in. So let me just pop that over here for a minute while I prep the vegetables. So all we need to do, because it's only going in as a stock, we only need to do this roughly. So I'm just going to chop the ends off the celery because they were already prepped in the shop, and I think they can get a bit wizened and dried out. So I'm just going to roughly chop the celery, minding my fingernails. So I have done that before. Ended up with fingernails in the pan and had to strain it all out and start again. So be careful on fingernails. Now I'm not going to peel the carrots, they have been washed, so I'm just chopping and tailing. I'm going to cut them in half. That's my phone that's binging, please ignore it. I can hear my dog whinging as well as usual. As soon as I come on here we have whinge, whinge, whinge. So I've cut them in half lengthways and then just chopping them into roughly even pieces. So they all go in the Coke. And then my onions, this is how I peel onions. Not the correct way, or I don't know if there is a correct way. Chefs, for those chefs out there, I know that you don't do it like this, but I always take off the first layer of the white, because I think sometimes it gets a little bit hard, does that first layer, and it's a bit like the skeet in the skin. Excuse me a second. Right, so I've peeled the onion, and as I was saying, I take the first layer off of the white, because to me it's like eating the outside bit, the brown skin bit. It can be a bit tough. So I'm just going to quarter the onions. Okay, they're in there. I want a cinnamon stick in there. Oh, luckily 1 left. Pop that in. That's for the bin. Half a tablespoon of peppercorns. Oh, that's too many. Wait a minute. Which would be about that. and I'm going to put a little bit, not too much because it's quite pungent, is nutmeg. Probably, I don't know, half a teaspoon? No, not even that, a quarter of a teaspoon. And then I'm going to put a little salt in there as well. That's my addition, it doesn't say salt. It's not smoked, so a little bit of salt, I think, helps the flavour. Okay, so pop that away to one side, and then we have to add the gammon. Now, just let me get my gloves. I will be with you in 1 second. I have them in my cupboard, because I don't like touching raw meat. It's not very hygienic either, touching raw meat with my hands. So I just pop some vinyl gloves on, and then, there we go. I've had this, I had it frozen, and then I've just defrosted it overnight, so it's thoroughly thawed. That's why it's in this big tin, to catch the juices. Okay, now, which is the best way to pop this in here? Not that way, I don't think. I might have to do it this way up. It's going to be a bit full. Let's see now. Can we get it in? Will it go better that way? It's a trial and error, this. Push it down a little bit. Right, okay. It's not fully covered at the minute, but once it cooks down a little bit, it... need to top that up a little bit. Now I've spilt some of it on the cooker. Once it cooks down a little bit, I can top it up with water. So what you have to do is bring it up to a boil, and then simmer for 2.5 hours, I believe. Let me just check. Yeah, bring to the boil, turn down to simmer for around 2.5 hours. Topping up with boiling water if necessary to ensure the gammon's fully covered. So I'll pop that on. I will have a look, see if I've got a bit deeper pan. I have, but it's a bit narrower, so that's defeating the object really. So I'll pop that on to boil, and then as soon as that boiled, I'll share with you the next little bit. In the meantime, please subscribe if you haven't, and give the video a thumbs up. Once I've cooked this, and it then goes in the oven, once you've rubbed the glaze and things in, it then goes in the oven for about half an hour or so, or until it's as like dark as you like, really, as you like it, it's preference, without making it overly dry. So yeah, once that's cooked, I will come back to you, and then we'll go through the next steps. But in the meantime, like I said, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. Help me to grow my channel. We're growing steadily at the moment, which is good. I appreciate all of you joining me. It's a new venture for me, really, is YouTube. Lots of things that I can go through with you. I love cooking, and as anybody that's subscribed already knows, I do some sewing tutorials on here, and a bit of everything really, some hauls, and all things like that. So if there's anything in there that catches your eye, or that you like, or you might enjoy watching, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up on this. I will put the recipe below, so that you can actually see it, and then you can have a go at it yourself. Now once it's done and it's cooled down for tomorrow, I will freeze it then for Christmas week. I'm trying to get ahead to get ready for Christmas beforehand. So next week then it'll be in the freezer, from tomorrow, sorry, it'll be in the freezer, and then it'll be ready. I'll take it out probably the day before Christmas Eve, leave it unwrapped and just let it defrost at normal temperature, room temperature, or even in the fridge, because we won't be eating it on Christmas Day. So we'll be just having the turkey on Christmas Day. And that'll be for Boxing Day, and then sandwiches. I might have it Christmas tea time for a meal, maybe a sandwich, or maybe loose with some salad and leftover bits. We tend to do that on Boxing Day. I don't know what you do. We have like turkey leftovers on Boxing Day, little chipolata leftovers, pickles, cheese, and all that kind of thing. So that'll probably get used as well. But bear with us. I'll pop it on the boil now. Try and get a bigger pan if I've got one, and then if not, I'll just keep basting it with the liquid while it's cooking. Alright guys, so I will see you very soon. Take care. Go get busy. Hi guys, I'm back. We're halfway through the simmering time for the ham. I'll let you just have a look what it's like at the minute. If I can lift it forward a bit, looking very nice and tasty. Does look lovely. I keep basting it and I've turned it over. Keep basting it while it's there, and then, although it was the pointy end was sticking out, it was cooking. I could see it getting paler, so it should be okay. It's done an hour and a bit on one side. It's now going to do an hour and a bit on this side, and then after that what I have to do is take the skin off, leave the fat on, but take the skin off, and then we have to score the skin, and then we coat it in the maple syrup mixture, which I've made up here. It's maple syrup, mustard, red wine vinegar, and a little bit of nutmeg. As I say, I will put the recipe in the bottom. So I need to baste it, coat it in this, and then keep basting it every so often while it's cooking, every 10 minutes or so. As for maple syrup, now this can be really expensive, but I picked this one up in Aldi. I've used this before and it is really, really good. This is Aldi Canadian maple syrup, and it's 100% pure. It was, I think it was $3.49. Other places that I've looked for it before, I think it's about £7 or something for a bottle this big, this size, and this is 250ml, this one. So yeah, Aldi's maple syrup. If you need any for your ham, Aldi's is the place to get it, and that's where I tend to get mine from. It's grade A, so it's top quality, and it's really good. So for now, I shall see you very soon. I shall say bye bye for now, and I'll see you when we're ready to go in the oven. Well, we're ready to go in the oven when we take the ham out of the pan and then get it ready for going in the oven. Okay guys, see you soon. Bye. Hi people. Right, the ham is now cooled a little bit, so what I'm going to do is take off the netting, the string even. This is probably going to collapse in a minute, but I will recover it. I've got my gloves on again. Right, I'm going to try and get this off without disintegrating it because it's rolled. Oh, and then what I need to do is remove the skin. Now the skin is this bit on the top, but the underneath layer is the fat that you need to leave on to stop it from getting dry. So usually if you just pick it up, if you can see properly, pick it up a little bit here, it will separate quite easily. Make sure you've got a sharp knife. It will separate quite easily from the actual fat that's underneath. So we need to leave as much fat on as we can. Not that I mean, I don't eat it, so but it helps with the flavour. So keep carving the fat, the skin, because we're only removing the skin. Keep carving it down. You just want the thin layer off. Here. Now bear in mind this is going back in the oven once we've basted it with our syrup mix. Right. Got this from underneath, this little bit here, and there's a little bit here as well, like so. The dogs are hanging around because they can smell it. Not yet, boys, not yet, it's for Christmas. Let's take that little bit off there. That's got a bit, I don't like that bit. Look at it, it's a bit veiny. I don't want things looking like that, so we'll take that off, that little bit of fat. Right, that's better. So that is our ham, which is being boiled in the cola. We've removed the skin. Now I've got a prepared tin, just bear with me a minute, with I've got a tray in the bottom, and I've also like trivet tray. It's a baking tray. But what I've got to do, it's not a baking tray, so it's cooling rack. It comes with this roasting tin. Right, I've put some string in here so I can hold it back together. I don't want it to collapse in the oven. So I've just put one piece that way, one piece that way, and we'll see how we get on. So I get hold of it, try to hold it all together, which is not too difficult, that's fine. It smells beautiful actually, does this? And it's not too hot. I've left it about half an hour. Right, okay, now I need to score. Might be better if I do it this way and fasten this up first. First of all, so don't know fancy knots and things. What we do in butcher's knots, I'm not sure how we do it, but if you do, then fabulous. So I've gone across just like wrapping a parcel. Do like so, tie a knot, so it's, well, I'll tie it in a bow so that when it's done it's easy to undo, and then I'll do the other piece over the top, crisscross it over the top like so, that'll just stop it separating in the oven, that's all. Keep it nice and tight on there. Okay, now we need to crisscross the fat on the top with your knife. Just score it. You want to be, well, I tend to do it, so it depends how much fat you've got on the meat. I tend to do it about 1/2 centimetre in, because I don't keep a lot of actual fat on the meat. But if you keep quite a bit of fat on the meat, you could do it further. Just don't touch the meat underneath it. You want it to be a glaze on the fat, not on the actual meats, in my opinion anyhow. Again, those chefs out there that are watching, this is my way of doing it. I'm not saying it's the right way of doing it. Are you listening, you lot? You know who you are. Right, okay. So I've scored the fat and we're in position. Right, now the maple syrup mix is here. And I mixed it earlier and showed you. So what we need to do is you put half of this on. Let me tip this forward a little bit so that I can put half on now, and then you pop her in the oven for half an hour, for 15 minutes, sorry, and then you do the other half on, and then you pop her back in the oven. So what I'm going to do is massage this into the meat as well. Keep putting a bit more on, so I've used around half. Massage it in all over. So get a bit of that maple syrup all over. I'll pop a bit on this side. I could do another couple of arms. I think I could do with being like a blooming octopus or something. Right. Never mind. We'll get there. We'll get there. So. Ooh, it smells nice. This. I bet it smells nice when it's in the oven. And that will crystallise the glaze. So it's had a massage in, it's all over, it's covered, and then pushing back together because my bowl's moved a little bit, like so, over that a bit there, and then I'm going to pop them in the oven at 190, which I'm not sure on the conversion, but I'll put it in the comments below with the recipe, for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to pour the rest of the glaze over and then leave them in for another 30 minutes. I did check the temperature in the meat once I'd actually cooked it before I took it out of the pan. I I've got a meat thermometer, and I checked that it was at the correct setting and correct heat. I thought, now the temperature I'm not sure. On mine, it's one that it's like a spike, and you pop it in, and it tells you ham, pork, meat, beef, whatever you're cooking, chicken, and it's got an arrow that points to the right thing once it's done. But temperature wise, I'm not sure. I'll see if I can find out and let you know in the comments box below. Okay, so for now, it's going to be tucked away in the oven for a little sleep and to roast. So I'll see you very soon. Bye guys. This is my meat thermometer, which is what I was trying to explain to you. It's by Salter, and along the bottom it's got, so you stick this into the fattest part of the meat, and it's got poultry, pork, ham, and then beef. It's got beef medium, beef well, and beef rare on there as well. So as soon as your the point of the arrow is pointing at that particular meat, then you know, can you see it there? Then you know that it's actually correct for that meat that you're actually cooking. So that's the one I use. I use the bottom. I don't go by the top, because trying to remember is ridiculous. I think it's about 78ish, but I wouldn't swear to it. So I tend to use these along the bottom, which is for me an easier guide. You don't have to remember anything, just look at what you're doing and it points at it when it's ready. Okay, so when she comes out of the oven, I shall let you know and show you. Okay, bye.